Looking good, looking good. I've really been thinking about swapping out those Wilsons for Brimbos. Now I'm making this video again. I'm explaining again a little bit later in the video how come I'm making a part 2 to this. I don't know if y'all can see it right here, but I got some curb rash. Now I'm not the one that put that there, but this is my baby boy now, so it's my problem. I've been thinking about maybe putting some new ones on there. I've been thinking about replacing the exhaust system on here too, but you know, it's all just a process. We all working on it together. Safety first. If you're gonna do hoonigan shit, I'm all for it. Just make sure you're being responsible about it. All right, so we've got part 2. If you guys have not seen my initial version of this video, how to shift your car manually or how to put your car down here in sport mode and shift it, go and check that video out. I'm pretty sure I'll link it in the description or maybe at the end of the video in a title card or something like that. But I'm going over this video again because I had some questions from you guys who did see the video about downshifting. So I explained it. I think I did a pretty decent job with, I guess, the vocabulary that I had at the time to kind of go over how to shift the car and everything. But you know, now that I had some time to soak on it, I do want to make sure I'm letting y'all know I'm in no way, shape, or form a professional manual stick shift driver. It's the reason I have an automatic, but I know how to put this bitch down here in sport mode and do some damage with it. So so you guys know I kind of covered in the first video, and again I'm just kind of briefing, you know, for the people that didn't watch it. I went over, when you want to go, you put the car down all the way down here in sport mode. So clearly I was in park right there, and then typically, you know, if you want the car to shift for you, just drive it like a regular automatic, you would have it right here in drive. Now you know you got to cover the bases, because, and I know it's a lot of y'all who just want to get into the shifting part, but I just want to make sure I'm covering the beginner shit for the people who are, you know, new to driving or maybe new to having a car like this. So if you want to drive the car normal, you just put it down in drive. But if you want to drive it in the way that I'm talking about for the sake of this video, you shift it down here to sport mode, or you can call it standard mode. But in this specific car, this Mustang, this 2014 Mustang GT, this is known as sport mode. Now if you look right here, I'm not sure if you guys can see in here, but there's a 1 right there letting me know that I am in first gear right now. It goes all the way up. I can start in 2nd gear, or I can start in 3rd gear. Now the car will not, even if I click up and I try to click up and I spam it, it will not let me get going in any higher gear than 3rd gear. Now depending on what you want to use the car for, that's how you decide what gear you want to start in. But me personally, I'm always starting the car in 1st gear. Now you get maximum torque in 2nd gear. Now in this car, I would not start in 2nd gear, because if I just floored it, like if I was racing somebody, for example, and I started in 2nd gear, I have a way higher chance of just losing traction and spinning my tires like crazy if I start in 2nd gear. So I'm always starting in 1st gear. And again, the way that I was kind of describing it in the last video as far as downshifting, I'll show you some examples when I'm out there on the road, but essentially all you want to do when you downshift is you do want to make sure that you are slowing down. And it's absolutely okay to have your foot on the brake when you downshift. And by the way, if you didn't catch how I was downshifting and upshifting, it's this button right here, this plus and minus. The plus is how you upshift, the minus is how you downshift. Now it'll be different in different cars. Like the car I had before this was a 08 V6, and I had a stick shifter, like it kind of shifted like that, and instead of having an S right here, it had a 1, 2, 3 and then drive, which works the same way as 1, 2, 3 on here. It's just digital now. So again, I'll cover how to downshift and everything, but essentially when you shifting up, you have your foot on the gas, and you do not have to raise your foot off of the gas to shift up. You can have the pedal to the floor and still shift up. It will not hurt the car. And you do not have to have your foot on the brake to shift down. You just have to be slowing down, and you want to make sure that you don't shift down at too high of a speed. If I'm going 80 miles an hour in, say, gear number 6, I do not want to drop the car down to second gear going 80 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure, I would hope that the car or the computer in the car wouldn't let you do that, because if it did, you would probably blow your shit up. So don't do that. But you always want to pay attention. The RPMs are going to be your best friend. So if you have a loud car like mine, you know when it's time to upshift, because the car will just be loud for nothing. It'll just be making a bunch of noise and you won't be going any faster. So I know typically I shift at about 2,000 RPMs, 2,500 if I'm feeling lucky, if I'm just daily driving. But if I want to race, I'm shifting at about 6,500, right in there, or right as soon as this needle touches the red line. As soon as it touches, I am not risking it letting it go past red line. So I'm usually shifting at about 6,500 or right at red line. So if I'm in first gear, I'm riding first gear out all the way until I hit the red line, and then I'm shifting up. I'm pressing the button. It'll go to second. My RPMs will drop down to somewhere, I'm not sure where, maybe 3,000 RPMs or something, who knows. But then they'll start to creep back up, and as soon as that needle touches the red line, I shift up, and so on and so forth. Now when you get to sixth gear, you won't be able to shift up anymore. You'll just have to ride it out. But I'm pretty sure, unless you're some type of daredevil, you may never find yourself in that situation. But if you do, you cannot shift up past sixth gear. The car will kind of do its own thing by the time it gets there. I'm not sure it'll go past red line in sixth gear. I'm not sure on that. If it does, you might want to let off a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it'll stop right at that red line mark. So again, I'm about to show y'all how to drive this thing, or this particular car, but you can use this method for any car, I think. So again, we go from park. I've got my foot down on the brake when I'm shifting. Again, I don't have my, if I try to shift this thing with my foot off the brake, it's locked. It won't let me. So foot down on the brake, shift down to sport mode, and then I like to just press the button down one time so it shows me what gear that I'm in. And I know I'm in first gear, so I'm letting my foot off the brake. I don't even have my foot on the gas right now. The car's just rolling in first gear. And see, I'm not going past 2,000 RPM, so I don't need to shift up. And to be honest, I don't like shifting up, I don't like to shift down to first gear unless I know I'm stopping at a complete stop. So I'm at 2,500 RPMs, shift up. I'm at about 2,000 RPMs, but I'm coming up to a stop. So right now I'm in third gear. I'm pressing my foot down on the brake. I'm shifting down to second gear, but I'm not shifting to first gear until I come to a complete stop. So I'm still in second gear. I come to a complete stop, and now I'm in first gear. And I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it's just being extra loud for no reason. So I know it's time to shift up. And now I'm about to merge onto the highway. I'm probably gonna do like a little pull for y'all so you can see how this bad boy really gets down. So I'm in fourth gear right now. My foot is not on the brake, but I'm shifting down to third gear. And now my foot's on the gas and everything, or slightly, just slightly. But I'm in third gear. I'm just cruising. I'm right at 2,000 RPMs. That's pretty comfortable. But I'm probably about to floor it here. So y'all make sure you stay tuned. And I mean, it's really that simple. I know it's probably looking a little bit confusing, but if you really just pay attention to like my mannerisms, it gets a whole lot easier. So I'm just cruising right now. I'm in sixth gear. I'm staying on this highway for an extended period of time, I'm probably just gonna stay in 6th gear. And it's okay if I slow down just a little bit. I don't necessarily have to shift down to 5th gear or 4th gear. I can just stay in 6th gear. And if I slow down for whatever reason, I can still, like I'm slowing down right now, foot's on the brake, I'm slowing down just a little bit, but I'm still in 6th gear. Foot's right back on the gas. And now I'm about to get off at this exit, so I want to show you how to merge, how to downshift. All right, so I'm getting off at the exit. I'm in 6th gear right now. My foot is on the brake. I'm slowing down. 5th gear. And to be honest, the car is rolling pretty damn good, so I feel like 5th gear is good. But I'm about to come to a complete stop, so my foot is on the brake. I shift down. I'm in 4th. I can shift down again. Foot is still on the brake. Shift down again. I'm in 2nd gear, but I do not want to shift to 1st gear until I know I'm at a complete stop. So now I shift to 1st. So now I take off again. Car is getting loud. And look at my RPMs. Can you hear the way the car sounds? I'm not sure if you can hear that, but I need to shift up. The car is straining just for no reason. Now I'm really about to get this thing up to speeds here on this next run. So hopefully y'all enjoy this. And if I get a ticket, hopefully it's worth it. But I'm really about to open this thing up right now, just for the sake of this YouTube video. So I'm in 3rd gear. Wasn't in front of me, I mean this bike, I would have probably just ran off. I can hear it straining. I don't even need to look. I can hear it straining. I hear it straining. I don't need to look. Shift up. But I can tell it's straining because I know the sound of my car. But for you beginners, you might want to look at your RPMs right here. But again, I've been driving this car for so long, I know how it sounds, so I don't necessarily need to look at my RPMs. I want to shift back to drive. I just push it up to drive and it'll take over for me. And again, I'm in drive right now, so the car is doing all of the shifting for me. But if I want to take over and start shifting, I just put it down to sport mode. I like to shift down one time. Now I can see my RPMs are way over 2,500, so I want to shift up. And they are still over 2,500. So what do you think I'm about to do? Shift up. And now I'm sitting right at 2,500, so I'm perfect right here. So I know that I'm in the right gear because I'm sitting right at my mark. I'm sitting right at 2,500. Now for the donut in this car, it's a little bit different in every car, but I like to do my donuts in 1st gear. So what I'll do here is I'll press my traction control button one time. I'll press that one time. And then what I'll do is I'll come out here. And I'm in 1st gear. But you know, foot down on the brake. I did a lot right there, And I mean, I would give y'all a how-to really do donuts, but I'll say that for a separate video. I'll say that for a separate video. So I'm in drive right now. I'm in drive right now, and I'm kind of just cruising like a normal individual right now. But what I want to do is when I come to this stop sign, I'll shift it back to sport mode. So again, I'm in sport mode right now. Well, I'm not, I'm still in drive. I had to rev at him just one time. But again, so I'm driving right now and I'm in sport mode. So what I'll do, I mean, I'm in drive. I don't know why I keep saying I'm in sport mode, but I'm in drive right now. So I know that the car is shifting for me. I want to come down to sport mode. I don't know what gear I'm in, so let me press down. So right now I'm in third gear. I'm sitting at about 2,000 RPMs, 2,500. So I want to shift up. Perfect. I'm back down to 2,000 RPMs in fourth gear, and the car's riding pretty normal. Now I'm creeping up to 2,500, and right now I'm at 2,500 RPMs. I want to shift up. And again, to shift up, I'm only clicking this button right here. It's as simple as that. I'm only clicking that button. So right now I'm in fifth gear at 2,000 RPMs. Now, if I want to put the car into overdrive to where it basically is using less gas, I can shift up to sixth gear just for the heck of it. You can really do that in between fourth, fifth, and sixth gear, but that's a little bit more on the advanced side. And again, speaking of that donut, if you guys want to see me do a donut series, I can absolutely do that on how to do donuts and everything like that. You guys just have to hit that like button on this video and comment that you want to see me do a donut series, because it's simple. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how to shift your car. It's that easy. So hopefully this video worked for you. If it did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment any more questions that you have for me. If I have to, I'll do a part 3. Like I said, let me know if you guys want to see a donut series or a drift series. Comment below, let me know. Until next time, I'm out.